What's up, babe, and everybody else, and welcome back to the Founder Academy. I am Mark, the FUT founder, and this is episode 32, I believe. Yeah, 32. We are plowing through our episodes, guys. I just want to start by thanking everyone who is new to the channel and continued loyal viewers to the channel. We just broke 200 subscribers. I believe they're subscribers, right? Is that what YouTube calls them? I always get it confused. It's followers or subscribers. I think it's subscribers to a channel. Yeah, subscriptions. You subscribe to a channel. But I get it confused because unlike Twitch, you actually don't have to pay, right? It's free to do it. So if you're new to the channel, free to subscribe. Hit that free subscribe. Every subscription helps. Thank you guys very much. I know that's not a huge number, but for me, it's big. It's the biggest my channel's ever gotten, and I'm trying to grind away on it, guys. I'm trying, believe me. I've been traveling the last couple weeks, and I'm going away tomorrow afternoon. So actually, I'm going to try to pump out a La Liga video in the morning, a little teaser there. And we'll upload it similar to the way we did with the EPL. I just happen to be going away on Fridays, right? Because I have to take advantage of the long weekends because of my work schedule. But anyway, you guys don't care about that. You care about FIFA stuff, right? You're here for FIFA stuff. So let's just kind of jump right in. So EPL, we did everything that we could do while I was away, right? We opened up all of our packs that we saved and we got Allison. And then throughout the course of the week, we ended up getting some guys. I did the Phil Foden SBC. We have Kevin De Bruyne, who we bought. Who else do we have? From the EPL, we got Zaha from the community. I'm trying to think. I can't even remember who exactly we got. Declan Rice. I got a bunch of midfielders. McGinn we got from the community. Declan Rice. I did have Bruno. However, we end up selling Bruno. A little foreshadowing there, guys. A bunch of midfielders. I don't think I packed any of the forwards, and I don't believe I packed any of the defenders. I really wanted João Cancelo, but my buddy Nima packed João Cancelo, so I was like super jealous. We ended up coming back. I had a day in between Toronto and Kelowna when I was gone for the wedding, where I could grind away David De Gea, and we did David De Gea in one day, and my thumb was on fire. So David De Gea we ended up getting. He's going to be on we have our main team, which I don't know what we're going to do with our main team. I'm kind of letting team of the season decide that and who we pack and cards that come out. And then we usually have a secondary team that's going to be an EPL team. And then once they kind of release everybody later on in the year, that's when we start building league specific teams. We've got kind of like an average looking MLS team right now. Excuse me, we got an average looking, an Eredivisie team, and I got the hiccups. And we have a very average-looking Saudi team that I kind of put together from cards that we ended up packing. We ended up packing a few Saudi guys, and we did a couple of those objectives. I did the 84 player pick. We didn't end up getting anybody. I did the 10 by 75 plus Bundesliga, and we got Laum in that. Or Raum, right? Raum, the left back guy. 99 pace, very, very good. However, we don't build Bundesliga teams, and I don't plan on building a Bundesliga team, so it's kind of not super necessary. He's just going to kind of sit in the club, and then maybe we can bring him on as a super sub if we really need it. But I really only have 3 super subs, and I've got those spots pretty much filled out. Trent was the other guy that we got. We got Trent in, was it the other 84 player pick? Yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was the other guy that we got. So you guys haven't seen that one yet, I don't believe. I can't remember. Sorry, guys, I apologize. But we ended up getting Trent. So Trent is going to be one of our super subs. He's a fantastic card. I'm keeping Jadon Sancho's FUT birthday just in case we move things around and I end up being able to use him. If they release a Central Messi, I'm going to have to get him. Even though our Messi has like 350 games. I think it's the most games I've ever played with any card because I don't play a ton of FIFA, but I end up like kind of moving guys and flipping guys, and anybody who's liquid like that, who's a lot of coins, I usually get some FOMO when a card comes out and I want to get it fresh, so I end up selling big guys like that. But Messi has just stayed the course and stayed steady, and if they release a right winger version, this team of the year one, for team of the season, this team of the year one is just going to stay in my club. But if they release a central version, I'm going to have to do whatever I can to get him, because then we can fit in Jadon Sancho, and that would be the dream. But yeah, that's TBD what they're going to do. I don't have any idea what they're going to do with that. These games, I worked my way through because we ended up finishing the team of the season EPL where we got our 2-player picks. And then, or no, did we do that? No, we didn't do that. Well, I haven't done any of the EPL player, or I haven't done any of the team of the season with the exception of the community. So anyway, we're halfway because I've been gone. Yeah, I forgot. I don't know why. I was thinking we had actually got 2 player picks from the EPL. But unfortunately, we're probably going to miss the La Liga team of the season weekend league as well. So I probably won't get any Reds until at the earliest of the French league. So that was kind of unfortunate that we didn't get a chance to grind away some of those guys. It's just been busy. I've just been gone every weekend for like this whole month. So 3 straight weekends we've just missed. So we missed the BPL one, we missed the Bundesliga one, and our team is still looking really good because we've been staying on top of the SBCs and all the grindable stuff. But unfortunately, I would have liked some of those cool Reds in my squad. But I'm hoping that we can eventually get let's say the ultimate team of the season. That would be like the one that we really want because we want to get some of those really high rated guys. But yeah, that's kind of where the team is at. Phil Foden is in the squad as well. So we've been playing with, I think in these games, we had Phil Foden, we had Kevin De Bruyne, we had Kakare as the other holding midfielder, Foden out on the left, Messi in the middle. We were using Zaha on the right, and I had Mbappe up front. So that's essentially, and then the back line was the same. So, these games. So these games were the FUT Champs games that we played just to get the qualification done. I wanted a couple extra packs as well, get a couple mega packs in there, and get some extra cards. Every game that we came up against essentially had beast teams. And look, it's May. I get it. But there were no easy wins in this. I feel like the people that are playing these team of the season weekend leagues, even the qualifiers I usually just breeze through. These games were all super sweaty, super grindable. This was maybe the easiest game we played. And this guy wasn't even super easy. He put a couple past us. This guy was a really bizarre player. He essentially just went ultra attacking from the start. I think he was a Mexican player because he has the Mexican national team badge. We always come up against guys from Mexico, so sometimes there's connectivity issues, but it's pretty consistent. I think we're on one of the North American servers, the Northern North American servers, so usually connectivity has been okay. But every once in a while you'll get a little bit of an issue, but thankfully none of these games have had that. So El Burro was a really odd guy because he'd get the ball and he would weave run, and he was just really hard to tackle. So he ended up getting kind of, I don't want to say they're fluky goals because you guys are just going to say that I'm hating on him, but they were kind of fluky goals. Look, to weave through about 7 defenders with one guy, literally just try to run through a bunch of guys with one guy, not easy thing to do, but he did it twice. He kind of bumbled his way through. He was never going to be an opponent that we're going to lose to because he was just not a very good defender. He would just, I think he went constant pressure and just ran all of his guys all over the place. And like I said, it's going to cause a couple turnovers because when you've got constant pressure on, your players just end up getting put under duress and they end up making mistakes, not because of human error, but because that's the way the game's coded. So when guys are ultra attacking, your players, basically their composure stat comes into effect, and if guys don't have crazy composure, they end up doing really stupid stuff. And I still think even sometimes when they do have composure, they still do really stupid things when your opponent's ultra attacking because your players just fall, they just go, oh, I'm under pressure, and they just end up kicking the ball away, or they pass it with the wrong foot, or it just goes, it warps to some other player on the other team, and next thing you know, he's got an attacking opportunity right in front of your goal, and he just pots it into the net. So that's essentially what happened with El Burro. However, we just caught him on all these counters because, like I said, he was just playing so high pressure and so high up the field and just running guys all out of position all over. It was only a matter of time before we just put enough past him, and then he ended up quitting. Then we come up against this guy. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm making up excuses, but we just got out-teamed here. I don't know if that is an excuse or not, but he just had a really good team, and that's just the reality. He was a very good player. He just had a fantastic team, and look, I could not get past his defense. We got, I don't know if it was a little lucky here, but I did essentially create that opportunity out of there where the game just kind of broke for us. But even that run right off the kickoff, his prime moments Cantona was just an absolute menace. His Pele was causing me problems. I think he had Van Dijk in the back, and Van Dijk, it was just like a wall. I just couldn't get past this guy, and every time he would flood forward, his players would just, he had all these prime moments and prime players. He had prime Maradona, he had prime moments Pele, they were, and prime Eusebio, they were just flying forward. Then once I got a goal back, I think I paused it and I tried to go 4-2-4, which you guys know has been nerfed, right? It used to be super powerful. It's still okay offensively, but I think they've tweaked the defense so the defense becomes totally idiotic. So as you guys are going to see, like, it's either I pull this game back to 3-3 or he's just going to pump me like 8-1 or something like that. And it was unfortunately more of the latter. We ended up getting a second here, but like every time he was attacking, this guy was super ratty, and like I don't mean that in a rude way. I meant it more in like it just that's, I play like a rat too, right? So when you're good enough to know how to handle the game, you can counterattack. Like here you go. Here's a perfect example. He just gets it, one pass. All these tackles, like I said before, like the defenders don't stop anything. The ball just magnets back to him. And he was just essentially getting the ball one time, like you'd cut in, one time up, cut in, one time up, and then you'd get it out to the wing, sprint down the wing, and then he'd whip in across to the far post and try to one time it across. And he ended up scoring a couple of goals from that. But he was just doing that over and over and over. Like he knew what to do. Like here's a good example, right? So he just gets the ball out wide, whips it across. There you go. The computer can't shift quick enough, which is why that move is so overpowered, because EA's programming, again, it's just idiotic, right? So the players, if one player gets pulled out of position, which happens when you're ultra attacking, all the other defenders shift and they all get kind of caught in the middle, or they shift too far over and then the cross just bypasses everyone, which is what causes guys to be open at the far post, and then they smash in goals, right? So by this point, my team's just falling apart. Like we're just having to put in desperate tackles and the ball's just rubber banding back to him, or like magnet, what do we call it? Like magnet ball. Yeah, magnet balling back to him, and I just can't get out of my own end. And if we do get out of our own end, you have to make use of that opportunity, because all your midfielders and your forwards are just going to fly forward and they're going to get caught up, and all the guy has to do is get it, and if he's smart enough, he'll just lob it out, and then the wingers will head it into the middle. The guy will cut back towards his own goal and then dump a ball into the corner, run to the corner, whip it across. So it's essentially just doing that over and over and over. You just have to hope that you can like kind of flukily score 1 or 2 goals and pull yourself back in the game, or else the floodgates open. And once the floodgates open, your team's like sliders fall through the floor. It's such an old like tactical thing that EA's done for years and years and years, because it's just copy and paste every single year with the same game code. This Frostbite engine is so outdated and so poor. It's got so much garbage in it, like old morale coding and all that garbage, and it just has become so unplayable, right? So like if you know how to abuse the game tactics in that sense, you can essentially really punish somebody if they try to go ultra attacking. I did it against El Burrow. This last guy did it against me. It's just kind of like, can you get enough of like a head start on your opponent, or do you have a good enough team that you can survive? You can weather the storm and then pump a guy, right? So these games are, it's very rare that you're getting like really close games. I feel like a lot of the games I'm getting, I'm either killing my opponent or they're killing me. Every once in a while you'll get a really close game, and this was one of them, right? This was actually probably the best game that, when I say best game, I mean for a neutral, that we've had in a really long time. I can't remember this guy's name, Ivan Carvo or something like that. But this guy was a really good opponent. This was just, I don't even want to say a fun game. It was a stressful game. But when I watched it back, I was just like, man, this was really what FIFA should be like. Like my team was playing well. Because after, I left that clip in after we lost to the guy with the really crazy icon team. We went into another game. Some goofball quit 0-0 because he just didn't want the smoke. He didn't want to deal with it, so he just quit out before the game even started. And you guys know my feeling. Morale's in the game, so that counts as essentially a draw. Draw drops your morale even more, so I went offline, took my team back in. This guy's team was playing good, my team was playing good, and ended up being a really good game, right? Like, it's not a coincidence, guys. Like, your team's playing good, my opponent's team was playing good. This just was back and forth. You guys can kind of see, like, it was just shot after shot, chance after chance, back and forth. We were up 2-0, but this game was not one-sided by any means, right? Like, this guy was actually a really good opponent. I wish I would have put that away. I don't know who that was, if that was Messi, but that would have really iced the game. Unfortunately, this guy just, he was good enough. He hung around in the game, comes right downfield, and I don't know if that was Ronaldo. There you go. Player of the month, Ronaldo, smashes it in 2-1. Really tight game, right? We headed downfield here. I think this was very quickly after kickoff, ended up making it 3-1. I actually thought that was going to be the end of it. I was like, okay, I can hold off this guy for enough time, but unfortunately not. This guy, like I said, really good opponent, knew what to do. He went constant pressure, so his team was putting, again, my team under duress. Like, look at this pass, right? That's supposed to go to Kakare. Instead, it just forces a pass straight to his opponent. That's what happens when your opponent goes ultra attacking. It forces errors from your team, which I can't stand. I understand why they do it, but I just can't stand it because you can't do that. You can't do anything to combat it. If you're losing and your opponent goes ultra attacking, you cannot stop your team from making mistakes. They've coded it that way. I just think this game is so... I don't want to get on like an anti-FIFA rant, which I generally do in most videos, but it's just like that's how bad this game is. That's why I say this game is so bad. Not because it's the worst FIFA from a playability standpoint. It's the worst FIFA ever because they have no excuse for this. They make billions every year with a B, and they continuously are just taking the same game and copying, pasting it, and tweaking it, and it needs to be rewritten. The game needs to be rewritten from the ground up. Like, this is unacceptable that all of this old garbage coding is still in the game. Like, it's just so crazy that so many external factors impact the way a game finishes, right? Like, there's so many random elements in it. Like, a red card. You get a red card, you actually get, like, you get rewarded for getting a red card because your players get boosted, so your team doesn't get smoked. You get rewarded for it. It's so... Think about how stupid that is. Anyway, we ended up going in extra time against this guy. He pulled it back late, like I think in like the 75th minute or something like that, tied it. But in extra time, our team just played really good. And it wouldn't have played that good if I didn't take him offline. Trust me, guys, because those 2 losses, my team would have been absolutely terrible. But they grin and bared it, and in extra time, they were performing really well because they were just playing fully like to their best ability, and the cards were responding in extra time the way I needed them to, and we ended up getting 3 goals in extra time. He ended up pulling back 1 late, but honestly, taking them offline, that's what I attribute that win to. I really do. I know people might think that's stupid, but I needed to get their morale back up because that win is directly attributed to that. If my team was getting handicapped at all, I would not have got that win against this guy. And this guy was a really good opponent. He was a really, really good opponent. It was just probably the most back and forth game I've ever played. But honestly, I attribute my win to the fact that my team was playing better than his. I don't know if... I can't tell you how his team was playing. I couldn't because I wasn't controlling it. But my team was very responsive because I took them offline and got them back to a very, very playable state after that last loss. They were really good, and in extra time, it caused me to get those three goals. I still had to score them, but like, look, they wouldn't have taken all those chances if I didn't do that. So we end up finally getting our 6 wins. I think it took us 2 weeks because it was just like I played a couple games here, a couple games there, and then we finally a couple games there. We went a couple at a time, and this ended up probably being the longest like FUT Champs qualifying run we've ever done. But unfortunately, we didn't end up getting jack all from it. So it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Actually, when I say nothing, I mean that we didn't get any like team of the seasons or anything cool, but we did end up getting like the odd player here and there for like gold rares that are actually super valuable because gold rares and fodder is just going to become more valuable. So if these guys are at all through the floor, there's going to be so many SPCs guys coming in the next couple weeks and over the next month or two where you're just going to need a ton of rare. They're just going to try to rinse everybody's clubs of all this like garbage that's just sitting in your club. So anything that's gold rare, if you don't have to put it into an SPC, don't. Honestly, hold on to it because all of this stuff, every single gold rare card is going to be valuable. Even gold non-rares are going to be valuable. They're going to be needed for so many SBCs. I would just honestly keep them, right? Like if you're thinking about just discarding them, you're honestly throwing away coins. It's really stupid to do that. Like hold on to them. At some point they'll be sellable. I would say at the very least, just hold on to them for any SBCs that you want to do. We did end up packing Team of the Season Thomas Muller though. We got him this week. Randomly, I can't remember if it was in any of these packs. We might have actually had it in this video and I forgot it, but like we ended up packing Thomas Muller randomly from some random gold pack. I thought he was going to be worth a ton because he was 94 rated, but like for whatever reason, a lot of people I guess hate Thomas Muller or just don't like Thomas Muller just because he represents kind of like that I don't know, that Bayern team that just like they weren't super flashy. They're just kind of like German efficiency, and he's like the epitome of that, right? He's not a super flashy player, but man, if you're a Bayern guy, like he's literally the heart and soul of your team, and he's just been around forever, just always in the team of the year, and he's never really worth anything. People don't really like want him in their team, but he's a super usable card in FIFA, but he just never ends up being worth a whole lot. But Yeah, I was still happy to get him because he sold for like, there you go, he sold for 76K, right? Like, look at those stats. Really, really good card, but just 76K for that is crazy. Bruno worth less than 100K, really nuts. We also ended up picking up Ever Banega. We spent a little bit more than I wanted to on him. But here's the thing, guys. Here's a really interesting point. I'm stealing this line from someone. I can't remember who it was, so I apologize to whoever I stole this from. But they made a really excellent point. I was watching this on a stream where they said these lower leagues, EA need people to pay attention to them and they need people to want them. So they jack up these stats way higher than they need to be. That Ever Banega card is one of the best CDMs in the entire game. And I know that sounds crazy. Ever Banega, I picked him up because he's one of my favorite players. Like, I just love watching him play. I know that sounds crazy and everybody views him as like team of the season fodder and all this stuff, but he is like a phenomenal player in real life. He's just had some off the field issues or whatever with drinking and whatever substance abuse. I don't know what he's done, but he's an eccentric guy. But on the field, like that box to box midfield that I played when I play footy, I've always appreciated guys that are just like, they never give the ball away. They just always make the smart play. They're just literally like that engine in the middle of the field. And Ever Banega's that guy. And when I put him into my squad, he is such a good player in FIFA, guys. If you can fit him into a team, you will not be disappointed. He's not a huge body, but he's got fantastic dribbling, amazing defense, and his pace is now at a very, very usable state. This is the fastest I think I've ever seen his card, like 87 pace, and he's the oldest he's ever been, right? So it's really crazy because that is just such a cool card to have and use if you can fit him in. He's going to be a perfect CDM. He's just so good. Trust me, I've been using him like on and offline games, and he's just awesome. He's off the hook. So I definitely recommend using him if you can fit him in. We ended up doing the Toowoomba objective yesterday, so he's a cool card to have. And we ended up getting, in our guarantee, Bundesliga, Manu Neuer. So a bunch of stuff in the club, right? A bunch of fodder for when they release some bigger league guaranteed team of the season SBCs, which we will be doing because we will be back early next week. But this weekend, if they release anything cool, at least I'll have it for the web app that I can do it. So that is going to be the end of today's episode, guys. I appreciate you sticking with me to the very end here. We will do a quick video tomorrow for the La Liga team of the season release, where we do a quick pack opening. We'll check out some of the packs we got, some of the cards that are available on the transfer market, but that's going to be the end. And until next time, take care. Peace. Check out for that tomorrow.